Good morning, teacher Amor and classmates. I am Hikain Beatrice Ecodilio, and I will be reporting on the constellations AURIGA and ANTLIA. But before I start my report, let me tell you what is a constellation. A constellation is a group of stars that appears to form a pattern or a picture like Orion the Great Hunter, Leo the Lion, or Taurus the Bull. Constellations are easily recognizable patterns that help people orient themselves by using the night sky. How are constellations named? Most of the constellation names we know came from the ancient Middle Eastern, Greek, and Roman cultures. They identified clusters of stars as gods, goddesses, animals, and objects of their stories. How many constellations are there? In 1930, the International Astronomical Union officially listed 88 modern and ancient constellations and drew a boundary around each. The boundary edges meet, dividing the imaginary sphere, the celestial sphere, surrounding the Earth into 88 pieces. Astronomers consider any star within a constellation boundary to be part of that constellation, even if it is not part of the actual picture. 48 of these constellations are known to be ancient or original, meaning they were talked about by Greeks and the Babylonians and still the other earlier peoples. And now I will be proceeding to the first constellation that I will be reporting for today, which is the constellation AURIGA. Who is AURIGA? The name AURIGA simply means charioteer in Latin. The most popular interpretation is that the chariot driver is Erythronius, a legendary Athenian king and son of Hephaestus, the god of fire and metalworking. Erythronius was rejected by his father but raised by the goddess Athena, patron deity of Athens, who taught him how to tame horses. He then became the first person to harness 4 horses in a chariot, potentially explaining AURIGA's name. But then, why the goats? According to Space.com skywatching columnist Joe Rao, the oldest legends state that AURIGA was a goatherd and a patron of shepherds. The constellation is especially prominent in the winter and spring months, a time when shepherds traditionally spent nights out in the fields with their flocks. In Chinese culture, they saw it AURIGA as Wush, the 5 chariots of the celestial emperors and the representation of the grain harvest. How and when to spot AURIGA? AURIGA can be found using the easily recognizable Orion as a guide. At times when AURIGA is high in the sky, especially around February, the 2 constellations will appear in the west-northwest sky a few hours after the sun sets. Immediately above Orion is Taurus the Bull, who is often depicted charging into the famous huntsman. Above that will be a pentagon shape of stars, one of which is the brightest and golden star known as Capella, which is Latin for she-goat. These stars make up the bulk of AURIGA. AURIGA is bordered by the constellations Perseus, Comedopardalis, Lynx, Taurus, and Gemini. AURIGA is the 21st largest constellation in the celestial sphere. AURIGA consists of 8 main stars, and the brightest star is Capella. Now I will be reporting on the constellation ANTLIA. What is ANTLIA? ANTLIA is a small, faint constellation located in the southern skies. Its name is an ancient Greek word for the pump. It was named after the air pump Antlia pneumatica, an instrument invented by the French physicist Denis Papin, who is also famous for inventing the steam digester, which preceded the steam engine and the pressure cooker. ANTLIA was created and catalogued by the French astronomer Aimé-Nicolas Louis de Lacaille in the 18th century, along with 13 other constellations introduced by Lacaille to fill the void in some faint regions in the southern sky. Lacaille's constellations are mostly named after scientific instruments and there are no myths attached to them. When to spot ANTLIA? Best visible during the month of April in the southern skies. ANTLIA is bordered by the constellations Pisces, Vela, Hydra, and Centaurus. ANTLIA is the 62nd largest constellation in the celestial sphere. ANTLIA consists of three main stars, and the brightest star is Alpha Antliae. For additional information, not all stars are part of the constellations because there are billions of them, and only a fraction make up the shape of our constellations. These are the stars that can be seen with our naked eye. Once a star became so visible in the naked eye that it led three wise men to a baby named Jesus, the Savior and Redeemer of mankind. Tonight, go out and look up at the night sky. A constellation may be seen, and when you see the stars twinkling up there brightly, remember Psalms 147 verse 4. He counts the stars and calls them by name. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed my report and I also hope you have a good day. Goodbye!